Hi everyone, welcome to today's broadcast. I have a really great research article that I want to share with you, and it's all about how you can supplement your child's diet, your child who has autism, supplement their diet with vitamins, minerals, especially with the dietary changes that you're making for them. And it really can make a world of difference to your child's health and well-being and their energy. And I know that I've shared my experience in the past, and it was really my experience with my child and what I did. But now I found this research article the other day, and I'm really excited to share that with you because now I can see something really concrete in a really well outlined research article. So welcome. If this is the first time you've joined me, my name is Tina Bishai. I'm the founder of Golden Healings, and it's here that I see clients, adults, and children for all different kinds of purposes, but my love is to help children who have autism or ADHD. And so again, I want to jump right into this research article. And I loved it because they mentioned specific dosages for your child's vitamins, minerals, and supplements based on their weight. And I've actually contacted a nutritionist who I heard speak about this topic just yesterday, just to get some feedback and brand suggestions. So once I get that information, I'll share it with you as well. And in the meantime, I just thought that it would be great if you could listen, you could gather the information and learn about it and just start to implement whatever you can to your best of your ability for your child. So the journal article is called Comprehensive Nutritional and Dietary Intervention for Autism Spectrum Disorder. It was a randomized controlled 12-month study, and it's in a journal called Nutrients, and it was just published in March of 2018. So I'll share the little blurb that the research article talks about at the front, just to give you an idea, and then I'm going to break it down for you and give you some really basic items that you can do for your child here. So the study was randomized, controlled, single-blind, 12-month treatment study of a comprehensive nutritional and dietary intervention on kids who had autism. They had 67 children and adults with autism on the spectrum. Their ages were from 3 to 58, and they were from Arizona. Okay, so treatment began with a special vitamin and mineral supplement, and additional treatments were added sequentially, including things like fatty acids. They also provided Epsom salt baths, carnitine, digestive enzymes, and of course a healthy, gluten-free, casein-free, and soy-free diet. And in this study, they found that there was significant improvement in nonverbal intellectual ability in the treatment group compared to the non-treatment group. And what else can I share with you here? The treatment group had significantly greater increases in minerals and nutrients, like their EPA, their DHA, their fatty acids, their carnitine, and their vitamins A, B2, B5, B6, B12, folic acid, and the coenzyme Q10. So they found in this article, in the research study, that it not only increased their blood levels of the vitamins, which obviously makes sense, but it also improved their behavior for the kids. And what they did, I wanted to highlight some things. At the very beginning, they gave the kids a vitamin and mineral supplement. And then in day 30, they gave the kids essential fatty acids. Day 60, they started Epsom salt baths. And day 90, they started carnitine supplementation. And day 180, they started digestive enzyme supplements. And day 210, they started their healthy, casein-free, gluten-free soy diet. So that's kind of the summary of the research paper, and you can go ahead and read it. I'll post it underneath the video broadcast. But what I want to share with you is I'm pulling out some really big highlights that it was just summarized so well, and I want to share with you. And it talked about how kids who have ASD or are on the autism spectrum disorder, they have a few things that we can help them with. They typically have impaired methylation, decreased glutathione, increased oxidative stress, low biotin, and low tryptophan. And so I'm going to go through each one of these to share with you what they mean. So they have impaired methylation. What does that mean anyways? Methylation. So methylation is a really vital metabolic process that happens in every cell and every organ of our body, and really life for us wouldn't exist without it. So, I was reading up on it, and apparently it takes place more than 1 billion times per second in our body, and that really should give us some idea of the importance of it. So anything that happens 1 billion times per second is probably very crucial to our survival and well-being. And the reactions that methylation produces, they create things like creatine, carnitine, CoQ10, melatonin, and lots of other really important substances for our body. So if our kids have impaired methylation, there are ways that we can help them with this. They also talked about our kids having decreased glutathione. And glutathione is sometimes called the mother of all antioxidants. So it protects us from aging and brain disease, and it really protects our immune system as well. They talked about kids with autism having increased oxidative stress. So oxidative stress, I looked up, is thought to be involved in the development of ADHD, cancer, Parkinson's, Lafora disease, Alzheimer's, atherosclerosis, heart failure, myocardial infarction, and a number of other things, including autism and chronic fatigue syndrome and depression. And they said it was also characteristic of individuals who had Asperger's syndrome. So increased oxidative stress also means that our children have low levels of glutathione, so we can supplement that. Sorry, I think I got paused there. They also have low biotin, which is another word for a vitamin B complex. They have low tryptophan, and tryptophan is an amino acid that is used in the synthesis of protein. So I just wanted to break those down for you so you could understand just how important all of these things are to our bodies and to our well-being and function. And we can easily supplement these for our children. So we also know that essential fatty acids can help the GI function of our kids. And this was interesting. I didn't know this before, but sulfur is required for detoxification, inactivation of catecholamines, which are produced when we have high stress. And sulfur is also necessary for synthesis of brain tissue, and the sulfation of proteins that line our GI tract. So kids with ASD, they have lower plasma levels and higher urinary excretion. And what they did to help with this issue was they gave the kids Epsom salt baths to raise their plasma sulfate levels. So I thought that was interesting. And, parents did it through the year. They didn't find it in itself was the most helpful with their kids' autism symptoms, but they did find it helpful. Something else that was interesting to me, which I had reported before from another research study at a much lower rate, but here they're saying that 87% of kids with ASD have antibodies to gluten and 90% have antibodies to casein. So that means if we're feeding our kids gluten and casein, then we're creating an autoimmune response and huge inflammatory response in our children. So it is well worth it to take away gluten and dairy for your children and substitute them with a gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free diet. So, of course, besides eliminating those foods, which I think right now we all know as parents who have kids with autism, I thought I would share with you some anti-inflammatory herbs and spices that you can use when you're cooking, which can also help to decrease inflammation. And really, once we get our kids' GI tract and their bodies to decrease the inflammation, then their whole metabolic system and their systems and organs can start working properly just as they're meant to. And also the inflammation in their GI tract goes away. So then if they've had GI symptoms or not, they won't experience those GI symptoms. So here are some anti-inflammatory herbs and spices that you can cook with, as long as your children don't have any sensitivities to them. Cumin, ginger, garlic, cinnamon, and parsley. Those are all anti-inflammatory herbs and spices. And then there are also antimicrobial herbs that we can use and cook with. And they are oregano, cinnamon, parsley, garlic, rosemary, thyme, usnea, and neem. So if your child also doesn't have a great appetite, you can actually try something with spearmint, peppermint, bitter melon, or barberry, because those are appetite stimulants. So I just thought those were neat to know. I didn't know those before, and I wanted to share that with you. So as a recap, what they did in this research article was they gave their kids multivitamins, they gave them essential fatty acids, they gave them Epsom salt baths, they supplemented their carnitine, and they gave them digestive supplements as well. And of course, the gluten-free, casein-free, soy-free diet. So I hope that was helpful for you today. Again, it's in the journal called Nutrients in March 2018 by Adams et al. And the title is Comprehensive Nutritional and Dietary Intervention for Autism Spectrum Disorder. So I hope that was helpful for you. And I think this is a topic that we're going to be continuing through the year because it's so important. And as I find new information, I'll continue to bring it to you. And hopefully I'll continue to be able to bring you some brand names and ideas of where you can actually find really great supplements like this. Thanks so much for joining. Have a great day.